Hi everybody, my name is Nick, and this is my version of the magazine advertisement project board. I tried my best to split the board in half down the middle, with this half pertaining to the Motor Trend magazines that I used in order to fill up the half of the assignment that involved the men's magazines, and then the second half over here to the left is more of the women's style magazines that I used. The women's magazine in particular that I used was the May 2021 edition of In Style, and then I did not know exactly what the timetable was for the men's ones, but it was from a 2018 version of Motor Trend that my dad had. Some of the things I noticed while going through the magazines were that there definitely were some patterns. For example, a lot of the men's ones, they try to use imagery that shows more of the product than people itself. Well, yes, there are a couple images in particular, like the one of Tony Romo in his Skechers sponsorship, and this one right here for the fellow who needs male pads. But for the most part, a lot of the ads centered around the products themselves. For example, this top one up here is a Geico ad that centers on their home insurance as well as the car. So I'm sure we can get all that in there, as well as the Jimmy Dean ad, which focuses on the pancakes and the food itself. And then the other one that focuses on more of the items is towards people are the car products, where specifically the three supercars down here, the three supercars were more for a website where you can buy, sell, and list exotic vehicles. And then the Edge is an engine coolant that helps when your car gets overheating. So again, not an advertisement that would require a lot of people, just more product placement than anything else. And then the last thing I had was the Ford ad for them winning their awards. I noticed that there was no person in that advertisement either. They wanted to more push their winning and award winning state of mind and products. But I noticed that a lot of it with the men's was focused on more the product than people or how the people looked. For example, like Tony's shoe is there. It's the most important thing. I didn't include it here because I wanted to include another example of people, but the men's diaper advertisement included a picture of the product down by the bottom too. And then this advertisement for a medical company, a medicine company for a pharmaceutical, didn't include really a picture of the product, but more an imagery of what a person would look like being able to do the things they want to do while taking the product. And then this last little tire rack ad just had an advertisement of a fellow doing his tire work. So I noticed that for all three of the pictures for the men, they use confident, smiling pictures of men. For the most part, they are usually Caucasian, with the exception of the tire rack ad, which used an African American man, which I found interesting and very nice and inclusive. Nice change of pace. And then as we switch over to the women's side, I noticed a lot of trends that were not apparent in the men's side. A lot of the ads were based on or around people, whereas with the men's, again, it was more on the products. The women are always typically very thin or in decent shape. They don't tend to use plus size or they don't tend to use plus size models very often. One thing I noticed a lot with the products is that when they do show a product, they really put a lot of visual effect into it. They definitely spend a lot of time designing a background and sorts of little props and things to put around the product to entice anyone into buying it. A lot of the same names pop up throughout the magazine. Neutrogena just keeps coming up over and over again with different products, but consistently it's just the same companies pushing different products. A lot of them were focused around beauty. Like, for example, this one is for Crest teeth whitening, which is to look better. You want your teeth to look white so that you can appear better in your photos or in person. This was a pharmaceutical ad for a skin clearer, which everybody wants to have clear skin. Nobody wants to be covered in acne. Nobody want to look good. The Guess ad was for athletic wear, but again, they use a fit Caucasian woman. There was a part of a man here on some athletic gymnastics rings too, but the way the ad was going down the middle, I had to cut it in a weird way. But yeah, I noticed it for the most part, even on the Zyrtec ad, which is not for beauty at all. It's actually they're playing mini golf and she's sneezing, and I want you to get Zyrtec so that you don't have to sneeze anymore when you're out in public. I need that. But for example, just over and over again, I noticed the constant theme throughout the women's advertisements that a lot of the times they were focused on beauty and the idealistic standards for women that probably are not fair. It would probably be more realistic to put more plus size and not just beauty models in ads, because not everyone in life is a beauty model. I know I'm not, but yeah, for the most part, I just noticed a stark difference in the type of ads placed for both men and women. A common theme, once again, was that the men's ads are more focused on products, and the ads that do involve people in them mostly consisted of middle-aged to older white men, which is probably the magazine reading demographic, as most young people these days have moved on to the electronics. But apart from that, with the one advertisement with tire rack being the only inclusion of a minority, I found that interesting. And then to cover again with the women, most of the ads that included women included thin Caucasian women posing in typical beauty model types of poses, and for the most part, most of the advertisements revolved around beauty, looking better, feeling better, all sorts of just mostly cosmetic things, which I think goes to show that their demographic is definitely people who are trying to not only look better but feel better about themselves. And going to these magazines for people who are looking for ideas about things to wear and what they can do with themselves to look better is certainly a easy way to find the type of customer you're looking for when you're trying to sell these products. So all in all, I found it incredibly interesting to see the different dynamics that go into both female and male advertising and what different ad creators are targeting. I can't say I'm surprised by a lot of it, because I did expect to see a bias towards Caucasian, white, thin models for beauty and product advertisements in the women's magazines, but I was shocked that there was a distinct lack of advertisements in Motor Trend that had men physically in them and focused more towards the products. So I think that goes to show that women are very much expected to have more interest in what the product will do for them and how it benefits them, whereas a man is more interested possibly in just what the product is and how it performs as a whole. But this has been, once again, my project board. I hope it pleases you guys and at least is amicable in some sense, but tried my best to not leave any dark spots, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So have a great night and take care.